Puss-in-Boots by Angela Carter from The Bloody Chamber. Puss-in-Boots. Figaro here, Figaro there, I tell you. Figaro upstairs, Figaro downstairs, and oh my goodness me, this little Figaro can slip into my lady's chamber, smart as you like, at any time whatsoever that he takes the fancy for, don't you know? He's a cat of the world, cosmopolitan, sophisticated. He can tell when a furry friend is the missus's best company. For what lady in all the world could say no to the passionate yet toujours discret advances of a fine marmalade cat? Unless it be her eyes incontinently overflow at the slightest whiff of fur, which happened once, as you shall hear. A Tom Sirs, a ginger Tom, and proud of it. Proud of his fine white shirt front that dazzles harmoniously against his orange and tangerine tessellations. Oh, what a fiery suit of lights have I! Proud of his bird-entrancing eye and more than military whiskers. Proud, to a fault, some say, of his fine musical voice. All the windows in the square fly open when I break into impromptu song at the spectacle of the moon above Bergamo. If the poor players in the square, the sullen rout of ragged trash that haunts the provinces, are rewarded with a hail of pennies when they set up their makeshift stage and start their raucous choruses, then how much more liberally do the citizens deluge me with pails of the freshest water, vegetables hardly spoiled, and occasionally slippers, shoes, and boots. Do you see these fine, high, shining leather boots of mine? A young cavalry officer made me the tribute of the first one. Then, after I celebrate his generosity with a fresh obligato, the moon no fuller than my heart, whoops! I nimbly spring aside, down comes the other. Their high heels will click like castanets when Puss takes his promenade upon the tiles, for my song recalls flamenco. All cats have a Spanish tinge, although Puss himself elegantly lubricates his virile, muscular native Bergamasque with French, since that is the only language in which you can purr. Merci. Instanter I draw my new boots on over the natty white stockings that terminate my hinder legs. That young man, observing with curiosity by moonlight the use to which I put his footwear, calls out, "Hey, Puss! Puss there!" "At your service, sir." "Up to my balcony, young Puss." He leans out in his nightshirt, offering encouragement as I swing succinctly up the facade, forepaws on a curly cherub's pate, hind paws on a stucco wreath. Bring them up to meet your forepaws, while first paw forward, hop, onto the stone nymph's teat, left paw down a bit. The satire's bum should do the trick. Nothing to it once you know how. Rococo's no problem. Acrobatics? Born to them. Puss can perform a back somersault whilst holding aloft a glass of vino in his right paw and never spill a drop. But, to my shame, the famous death-defying triple somersault en plein air, that is, in middle air, that is, unsupported and without a safety net, I, Puss, have never yet attempted, though often I have dashingly brought off the double tour, to the applause of all. "You strike me as a cat of parts," says this young man when I am arrived at his window-sill. I made him a handsome genuflection, rump out, tail up, head down, to facilitate his friendly chuck under my chin, and, as involuntary free gift, my natural, my habitual smile. For all cats have this peculiarity, each and every one, from the meanest alley sneaker, to the proudest, whitest she that ever graced a pontiff's pillow. We have our smiles, as it were, painted on, those small, cool, quiet Mona Lisa smiles that smile we must, no matter whether it's been fun or it's been not. So all cats have a politician's air, we smile, and so they think we're villains. But, I note, this young man is something of a smiler himself. A sandwich, he offers, and perhaps a snifter of brandy. His lodgings are poor, though he is handsome enough, and even a deshabillé. Nightcap and all, there's a neat, smart, dandified air about him. Here is one who knows what's what, thinks I. A man who keeps up appearances in the bedchamber can never embarrass you out of it. And excellent beef sandwiches. I relish a lean slice of roast beef and early learned a taste for spirits, since I started life as a wine-shop cat, hunting cellar rats for my keep, before the world sharpened my wits enough to let me live by them. And the upshot of this midnight interview? I'm engaged on the spot as Sir's valet de chambre, and from time to time his body servant for, when funds are running low, as they must do for every gallant officer when the pickings fall off, he pawns the quilt, doesn't he? Then faithful puss curls up on his chest to keep him warm at nights. And if he don't like me to knead his nipples, which, out of the purest affection and the desire, ouch, he says, to test the retractability of my claws, I do in moments of absence of mind, then what other valet could slip into a young girl's sacred privacy and deliver her a billet doux at the very moment when she's reading her prayer book with her sainted mother? A task I once or twice performed for him to his infinite gratitude, and, as you will hear, brought him at last to the best of fortunes for us all. So Puss got his post at the same time as his boots, and I dare say the master and I have much in common, for he's proud as the devil, touchy as tin tacks, lecherous as licorice, and though I say it as loves him, as quick-witted a rascal as ever put on clean linen. When times were hard, I'd pilfer the market for breakfast. A herring, an orange, a loaf, we never went hungry. Puss served him well in the gaming salons too, for a cat may move from lap to lap with impunity, and cast his eye over any hand of cards. A cat can jump on the dice, he can't resist to see it roll. Poor thing mistook it for a bird, and after I've been limp-spined, stiff-legged, playing the silly buggers, scooped up to be chastised, who can remember how the dice fell in the first place? And we had, besides, less gentlemanly means of maintenance, when they closed the tables to us, and churlishly they sometimes did. I'd perform my little Spanish dance while he went round with his hat. Olé! But he only put my loyalty and affection to the test of his humiliation when the cupboard was as bare as his backside, after, in fact, he'd sunk so low as to pawn his drawers. So all went right as ninepence, and you never saw such boon companions as Puss and his master, until the man must needs go fall in love. Head over heels, Puss. I went about my ablutions, tonguing my arsehole with the impeccable hygienic integrity of cats, one leg stuck in the air like a ham bone. I choose to remain silent. Love, what has my rakish master, for whom I've jumped through the window of every brothel in the city, besides haunting the virginal back garden of the Covenant, of God, and God knows what other goatish errands to do with the tender passion? And she, a princess in a tower, remote and shining as Aldebaran, chained to adult and dragon guarded. I withdrew my head from my privates and fixed him with my most satiric smile. I dare him warble on that strain.